Hello there and welcome to Five Figures. It has been forever since I did a video with Five Figures, and I thought, you know what, let me do a quick comparison of my various Rogue figures. These are all my Marvel Legends Rogues. They're one of my favorite, of course, she's one of my favorite characters from Marvel Legends period, but they have put out a few of these now, and some of them are better than others. I know some people are not big fans of like this one or the AOA Rogue, but I pretty much am a fan of all of them, but I still have the ones that are my favorites and the ones that I like a little bit better. First off, I'm going to take a look at the first one of these that came out, which is the Juggernaut Wave Rogue. Of course, you guys know the articulation on these things. The only issue, so I'm just going to address like the issues because pretty much all of them are going to be the same as far as posability and things like that. This one tends to be my favorite, even though she does have the flaw of the floating kneecap pad things. They tend to move around a lot. They don't fall down around the ankles like Scott's Cyclopses do, but they are loose, and that is a little weird. Even when you bend them, they don't get out of like range or anything, so it's not a terrible thing. And as far as functionality of how they did it, I think it's probably one of the best ways that they could have done it. The only thing I've heard as a complaint really is that her face is kind of subdued. She almost looks bored, but they do the gauntlets well. The coloring is good. Some people might not like this particular color of the yellow because it is a little bit darker yellow than the second offering, which is, what was this? The Retro Release Rogue. So this is when they dropped at Target and a lot of places. The body is basically identical and all of the workings are the same as well. The only difference is that they gave her a different head with different hair. Now the hair is bigger to be more similar to what it was in the 80s cartoon or the 90s cartoon. And you can see the white spot is bigger, it's more vibrant. It's actually a separate plastic piece where this one is just painted. So it's a lot more bold colors going on. That said, it is, I mean, probably more cartoon accurate. It's more comic accurate in a lot of ways. The yellow is especially bright, maybe a little too bright for some. But they also give her the Moonstone body mold, which is the proper body mold for Rogue to have. It's a little curvier, it's a little thicker. It's just better. Next, I remember coming out, and I'm not positive if this was the same order, was Age of Apocalypse Rogue. Now, I particularly love this one because I love the Age of Apocalypse. That said, the figure does have a few problems. The face has that boring look to it. The hair poof is fine, if you ask me. I think it looks fine. The main thing is we've gone from the Moonstone body mold to the Kate Bishop body mold. So, oops, we had a crash. You can just lay down there. You can see some differences immediately going on here. This is what Rogue should be built like, and this is not what Rogue should be built like. This is what Rogue should be built like, not this is what Rogue should be built like. This was her character design. This is how she's always looked. And Marvel Legends has done this a lot. They've been doing it frequently. I don't know if they're trying to desexualize some of their characters a little bit or just save on plastic because it doesn't look as good. And that is my take on it, is that it doesn't look as good and they're just trying to save plastic, trying to save money on plastic, making them less curvy. If the character was written to look this way, why would you change that? And that's exactly what they do. They are changing things. She doesn't have the waist, the thickness of thighs. It's a much skinnier body mold. That also presents a few other problems with your action figure. More apparent in like this one. So this one is not quite as thin. It does have a slightly thicker thigh than the AOA Rogue. They've still downsized the bust area quite a bit, but she does have a little bit more shape than normal. The problem that you get in with these thinner figures with the thinner everything going on is that, okay, this stands in my room and it starts to fall over. This leg wants to bend. It gives out. It's spindly. It's weak. And especially in like my state where it's plenty hot, even in a cool air-conditioned house, these figures will get warm enough, they'll just kind of bend and clump over. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it because the legs are so thin. This one is not bad. This one has so much thinner legs that, and if you've looked at a lot of Marvel Legends, you're gonna notice that the women's leg bending at the knee, where it kind of buckles in and they keel over, that's pretty standard across the board. The thing I like about this one, other than just her outfit, is that they gave her this nasty, terrible, like snargle face, and I love that. And like, okay, everybody makes an ugly face every now and then, and I thought this face was perfectly ugly and suited Rogue quite well. And so I always leave that one on. I believe it came with a second face that I could use, but I love the nasty face. I can't remember if it came with one or not, but I do love this outfit. This is probably one of the, next to the AOA, is probably definitely one of the cheaper Rogues to get. And then I don't know why they made this last Rogue. I wasn't actually gonna pick it up because it's basically the X-Men Outback Rogue. It's kind of her post-villain outfit. It's what she wore when she was a villain, and then the hair changed and she became this. If they really wanted to do us a favor, they had given us a head that was the short, spiky-haired, ugly hair, nasty, evil Rogue hair. It was basically kind of more like Wolverine hair, kind of point out at each side. This, I can't really pinpoint. The face is just so much different than the other Rogue faces. It is not very pretty. It's not the same shape as the rest of them, so I don't know what the deal is. And the hair sits too high on it, and it's attached weird, so it looks strange. Also, I don't think, I'm trying to look at the thighs, I don't believe these are Moonstone body thighs. But it is a Moonstone, no it is not. I was thinking it was a Moonstone butt, but it doesn't look quite the same. Maybe, you be the judge. There's also no gap over here, and there's totally gap over here, which makes me think these legs are skinnier than this torso piece originally was intended to have, which I didn't like that. And then the other thing is, of course, they made her chest smaller, which is they do on all of their figures now, I guess. It's just a thing. So even though this one costs more than I paid for any of the others, it's by far the worst. And this one I got on discount. I think I paid $22 for. Everything else I paid like, you know, 10, 20. Actually, I think I got her for like 15. She was clearance somewhere. But this one I paid 22 for, just to complete kind of my set of Rogues. But I don't like the new Marvel Legends. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like the cost decrease, or the cost increase and the product decrease. You get a worse product, they're wanting more money for it, there's no BAF pieces in it, and it comes in a shitty box, and yeah. If I hadn't been able to get it at a pretty good discount, I was not gonna pick it up, because I'm not doing the Hasbro screwing thing anymore. So, I mean, if I can find them used, or I can find them on a good discounted sale on eBay, or somebody's just throwing them out, or GameStop has them on sale, yeah, I will pick them up. There's no way I'm paying the $27 that she would have cost anywhere else, which is what I'm seeing them for now. GameStop is running like $25.98 or something like that, so they're like $27 by the time you bring it up. And I'm like, no, put it back. I ain't paying that. So that is my take on these. I think they are great. I really do love these Rogue figures. That one is by far the weakest. These two are the strongest as far as the character design. Probably this one is the most authentic, but I do have a soft spot for the original one. And as far as variants, both of these are done quite well. I particularly like the AOA one, and I can let the thinness body frame happen and be okay with it, mostly because, okay, she's probably lost a lot of weight in a post-apocalypse world, and that's the only way I'm letting that slide. But you trying to slip me a Rogue like this in modern society? No, screw you guys. Anyway, that's my take on my Rogue action figures. I'm a very big fan of these. I like them very much. Not a fan of what Marvel Legends is doing right now. I'm basically clocked out on the whole thing, but like I said, if I can get a good deal on one, I'll pick it up. Anyway, that's my story. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you guys later. Bye.